All right, here we are. All right, so we're trying regular OBS today. We'll see what happens, and hopefully we can get this to work out. So yeah, let's see if I can get this to. There we go. Get that nice and quiet there. Okay, so I'm Sean. This is Sean4Help. For those who are here for first time for stream, not sure if oh, it's Angelina. She's on here right now. Hi, baby. How you doing? If you're a first time viewer, this is pretty much a channel where if you're having some difficulties or you need to be uplifted, there are other members of the community that I know that will be jumping in at any time, and we want you to have a good time here. We want you to see that this is a positive environment that you can be in and get you going here. As for the chat here, it looks like Lena has responded to me in a question. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Now, I was hurting pretty bad yesterday. Wanted to try and get this live chat out sooner, but unfortunately, or this live stream, excuse me, but my gout was affecting me in a really, really bad way. I had to pretty much lie down and take as much as I could for medication that I'm wanting to, because I hate taking medications. Naproxen's pretty much as far as I want to go, and even then I try to limit that because it's definitely not good for your kidneys, which with my gout that I have, it definitely does affect you. And your mother is doing fine, Lena. Don't worry, she's doing okay. Right now she's just laying down because she had a rough night. She has insomnia. So just her standard fare. So with some things that had been coming up here, I wanted to kind of discuss today that are alarming, is that regardless of how you feel in the realm of the political theater that's out there, I would say that something that comes up right now is that I'm concerned with all the way that things are regarding censoring and how it's starting to affect every side of the it doesn't just matter if you're conservative or liberal. It's going to be something that we're seeing how Google and YouTube, as well as all of these other tech giants, are starting to do stuff. It's kind of concerning, because some of the voices that are being silenced out there don't even have to be anything but the same as myself, just trying to be nice and help people. And it could be construed as something wrong because I don't fit into somebody's ideology, that I could be censored. And I'm just trying to be, give people good advice as well as kind of lift them up. So while this live stream might be a little bit short today, and that's fine, because I can come back later. I got a bunch of things I do have to do this afternoon anyway, and I can make a second stream. But one thing I wanted to make sure is that we need to see this as something of a serious threat to the ability for us as creators just to even offer up something nice. Oh, hey, Bruce. Thank you very much, and welcome to the chat. And definitely trying the stream out and trying to get more involved in it. That's okay. I know, Lena. It's nobody really likes the fact that I got to get going somewhat, but I'm going to try and be on here for at least a half hour. But the thing that gets me is that it's concerning because there are people who do need help out there and are just looking for advice, and these channels could be silenced, all because somebody felt they didn't fit in with their little happy world. And that's not how this works. So, good morning, baby. Feeling better? My beloved is up. She's awake and going back down there. Again, she has horrible insomnia right now. But if people can't find even the simplest advice, or, hey, how are you doing? Or the ability to find a good voice to lift them up just because they're having a bad day, it makes it question, as something as far as and as crazy as it may seem, kitten videos could be even threatened because somebody may feel that they don't fit into their political ideology. And kitten videos are probably the most innocuous thing you could probably think of. I mean, I don't think anybody would really have a problem with it, but it's still the idea that anything could be censored because somebody feels that they have the answer to what is right and wrong, and that what they think that people should and should not see. That's my decision as a viewer, not just a creator. And I think that that's getting a little crazy, that somebody would feel that they have to inject their own idea of what I consider as needing to know, not needing to know. It's not a matter of classification of information either. Like, obvious government secrets would need to be classified, and nobody needs to see that for the most part, unless you, of course, you have that grade of clearance. But if it's something that's just, the public square, then I think that would be something that needs to be really deeply considered as sacred. It does not need to be hindered, withheld, pushed off, manipulated. I mean, I could pick a bunch of words that it's very distasteful. It's very, very distasteful. There are some things that I found that I don't agree with, but I've still watched just to try and learn and understand. And I think that would be something that still needs to be seen and heard. Even though I don't like it, I would still want to find out if there was something better to answer my own question of curiosity and understanding. I would still want to hear it. I've heard there's a great saying that goes with this too, and it goes really well with the politics of today, because regardless of how you feel, you can apply this to any side, and that is this: never silence a fool. Let them speak freely, so all may know who they are. And that's the truth of the matter in today, specifically when you're looking at how people either have a right to or not to speak. Everybody has a right to speak. If we want to know who somebody's being foolish, I would rather hear their thoughts outright put before everyone, so that way we can either discuss it to go, this is not very healthy, or, well, they're just kind of crazy. It's all right. And that's a very genuine concern, especially now saying that. We all are concerned for what's going to be good or not good for people, because we want to protect them and we want to make sure they're safe. But at the same time, we have to be able to allow for adults to have the ability to not insult their intelligence. We have to trust that they're going to make their own decisions in their own way. It's free will. Now, I understand that, in my opinion, we do have to kind of be considerate towards, hey, Passion for Pets, how you doing, sweetie? We do have to consider the thing for children in some cases, because we need to make sure that whatever they see should be kind of watched. I'm not saying that I would necessarily completely shut down things. I mean, pornography, yeah, we shouldn't really have children be watching pornography, because they don't understand what everything is going on. Their mind is not fully formed. It's the same thing as, like, yeah, give a 5-year-old a bottle of scotch and say, here you go. It's just, I don't think that's really good. Well, not necessarily. I think that liberals, in some situations, you got to remember, Lena, at one point in time, I was considered a classic liberal, meaning that I still did believe in certain things at the time that had, freedom of speech, everything that I would consider to be fairly considered a classic liberal stance. Now, the liberalism that's being taken over today would be considered more of a socialist approach, and that could be, one thing or the other. They still have a right to speak what they're going to say. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but they do have a right to say it. And this is where we have to be responsible with ourselves. Now, to come back to that point about children, I come from the stance where my parents and I, when I was growing up, there were certain things that would pop up on TV. Now, of course, they couldn't catch everything. I mean, this is before we even had, I was the remote control. Hey, get up and go change the channel, that kind of thing. But it was about the idea that when anything would come up that was something that they couldn't stop from me being seen, they actually would talk to me about it. And they'd say, hey, well, this is what this was. What do you think? The one thing I said in a stream, I forgot whose stream it was. Might have been Cavs, might have been Nike Girl. But I was talking on there and I said, it's the fact that we have to give our kids the benefit of the doubt and say, well, what do you think? And allow them a responsible kind of purpose in this, a buy-in for them to say that I'm part of this. I'm not just going to be separate from this. The stance that was typically done by most parents when I was growing up was, oh, you're a child, you don't need to know this. This isn't for you to worry about. That's entirely different from my stance. My parents did that to me on a couple of things, but I still challenged it enough to say, I think I still need to know this for one thing or another, and it had to do with finances and whatnot. So I understood for my own purposes. But if you're going to have something that pops up on a TV or a screen, and they're poking their nose around, they're curious. You know, kids are sneaky and curious. They want to know. The best thing to do is to talk to them and get them to understand in a way that's like, this is or is not healthy. What do you think? And allowing them their own inputs. What Google and YouTube are doing now, as well as some of these other tech giants, is that they are silencing voices of even adults to allow discourse. I think what I found disgusting about the video I saw by Project Veritas, because I was able to catch most of it before they took it down, and I do have a recording of somebody else who was able to get it, and I swiped it real fast, so I have the whole video. The thing that was really disgusting about this is that they're basically meddling in elections and meddling what people should or should not think about certain things. And I believe that, look, if you wanted to vote for Hillary, vote for Hillary. If you wanted to vote for Trump, vote for Trump. If you wanted to vote for Bernie, vote for Bernie. That does not mean that I agree with your choice, but I agree that you have the right to choose whatever you want. Some people like vanilla ice cream. Some people like chocolate. Some people like Neapolitan. Who am I going to sit there and say, hey, you need to eat only one type? Or that type is great and you're a liar, you know, or stupid stuff like that. Now, while I do agree that people have lost their minds in the way to have a decent argument, now I'm going to say this in a way that talks about for my debate classes, that argument is being able to try and get to the point of a truth, which ends up actually going to the word dialectic. A dialectic is where we don't care about who we are, per se, in this, is that we're trying to get to the truth, so let's discuss it as a point of view. But an argument has rules, and there are, I think, 30 or more logical fallacies that people fall into, and the one that's the worst is we get into what's called ad hominem, and that's where they just swear at you and basically call you all kinds of names. This is where I keep telling people, you can call me anything but a child of God, and I'm going to look at you and go, and? But that still doesn't have the right to be silenced, or in any argument where just because you disagree with the person that they need to be shut down. If you can, well, and this is the thing, Lena, is that about politics, it's a slimy, underhanded, dirty thing that people do to try and control each other. And trying to see who else trying to chat at me here. Oh, it's Ronald Hunter. Nice. I'll have to respond here in a bit. But I think that in order to get anything across, we need to actually have all of this spoken. We need to have it out. And if you can't win in an argument, you're going to have go to ad hominem. It just means you lost the argument. But that still doesn't mean that you need to be necessarily silenced. You just need to be able to realize that you lost. And maybe it might be time to back away. And then come back to the argument in a more healthy situation. Let's see here, I gotta find. Okay, how are you? Let me do that. So, this is where I'm finding that I'm having more and more concerns because of there are channels that I've seen that have gotten shut down just because of either false copyright strikes or they're concerned that they don't like what you're going to say. Maybe you're a Trump voter or whatever, and they want to blast you with maybe whatever kind of name calling they want to do to try and destroy your credibility. In fact, give me a second here. Let me answer this real quick here. I just want to. But I just think that a lot of the stuff that's going on with how this is happening, I'm just worried that we're going to see a lot of these channels disappear. And I know that the government down in the States is trying to do what they can for this. But I don't think that other countries necessarily will jump on this, especially with Europe's Article 13 came about, and now all of a sudden what I find interesting is that, that those countries are having to deal with all of that. And Canada up here has its own set of situations, because there are certain things I cannot say or I can go to jail. Now, I know that sounds crazy for people in the States. Wait, you can go to jail for something you said? Yes, absolutely. And this is where some of the states down there, like California, if you don't use somebody's pronoun. Up here, they have what are considered kangaroo courts, in my opinion, especially after everything I've studied with U.S. jurisprudence and being a paralegal, is that we have this childish thing going on regarding, let me see where we are here. Hold on. If my feelings are hurt in some way, or I don't feel that you're respecting me for one way or another, I can sue you based upon a human rights situation that really is just about my feelings. And so, like, we had one instance up here that the landlord was coming in and it's his place, etc. But the tenants were of a specific faith, and because he came in with his shoes on, they blew a gasket. Well, they were able to sue him for a fairly large number. It was six figures. I'm trying to remember if it was over $125,000 or not within this court, because they felt that he was not respecting their faith, etc. So similarly, under one bill, which was Bill C-16, where you have to use somebody's proper pronoun. If you don't, you can be fined or go to jail. And I'm not kidding about, like, serious jail time. Or under Measure M103, that it's basically a blasphemy law. And these are concerning that we have these things that are silencing. But under Article 13, to come back to that into Europe, I'm trying to get circular to come back to my point here, is they made it so that if there was certain copyrighted material, etc., they can just, ISPs have to silence what you're doing. Well, it seems that YouTube and Google have taken on this same premise. So like up here in Canada, where we don't have anything to protect us from the hindrances of the government upon our speech, where the States has that under the First Amendment, all these other countries don't have these protections. So I have to watch what I say up here. I can't just blab off of the mouth of how I feel in my politics. As much as I would absolutely love to say a few things about what my opinions are, what my opinions are not, I can't do that necessarily up here. I have to watch what I say. Now, if I come back down to the States here, like I'm thinking about within at least a year, you're going to see an entirely different attitude on certain respects of how I feel, because I don't have as much limitation. And it's not because I want to be nefarious or rude. I don't care who you are. I love everybody, really. There are some people I can't please, and I'm not going to make my friend no matter what I do, and that's okay, that's fine. But I don't have no ill intention. I just see that there are certain things that I want to protect people from regarding, if somebody's going to attack somebody or something like that, of course I'm going to get a hold of the authorities, or if I feel that it's something I have to defend my own family, I got to do with that. But up here, I can't do anything with that. We're completely victims to what the government has made for, hindrances. Your speech. If somebody breaks in, call the cops is all they offer. It's like, well, how the heck am I going to defend my family if we can't even get out of the house? There's all kinds of questions to that. But I'll be able to at least speak a little bit more. Voice, of mine won't be as silenced down there in the States, and I can say what I think. That doesn't mean that I'm right either, though. It does allow for the option to say that I would like to hear what people think so that we can get down to a decent discourse on this. find the truth of the matter. Am I wrong in my thinking? Because I would rather have a dialectic to where we all get to the truth and combine our group intellect and say, well, what do we think here? And find out, is this actually something that's real in our concerns, or is this absolute hogwash? I think really here that we need to have a reality check over how badly the media and these tech companies are constantly trying to wag the dog and make us not see how serious this is. I really do. Now, I feel a little scattered here in my conversation because this is something I'm very passionate about. I'm actually really concerned about this. It's worrisome. It really is. And so my passion right now is, the more scattered I get, I guess this is kind of like my tell. If we were playing cards, you'd know I'd be bluffing or not, is that I am so passionate right now, I can't keep my thoughts straight as well as I'd like to try and explain how worried I am for everybody. And there's my beloved again. Oh, okay. Here, turn up the fan, my love. Just put it up 2 more. There we go. And then I'll adjust for the audio here.
Yes, I'm right here, guys. Hello.
Yep. She'll come over here in just a second. I just had to put this up so I could see what this was. And minimize. There we are. There she is. There's my beautiful wife. Feeling better?
Yeah, I got some sleep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she's suffering with insomnia pretty bad.
My stomach.
So...
No.
Unfortunately...
I won't say what I really want to call you, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's... I said, oh, like... Well, passion for pets, that's quite all right. No worries. You got to understand there's a delay. It's about a 5-second, 6-second delay, so...
Yeah, well, do you realize that on YouTube there is a more delay than Hangouts?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, actually, YouTube, you're seeing something that's already been said like 5 or 6 seconds.
Further than that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and see if I can adjust. I know that the sound... You're probably hearing some of the fan out here, guys. Give me a second. Let me try this real quick here. There we go. I had to adjust Reaper so that the noise canceling... Oh, nice. I had to get the noise canceling to work out. Reaper's a really good piece of software for that. It's about $60 US. And does have a great live functioning option. So like right now, even if I go silent, you shouldn't see anything. Yeah, there's like minor blurbs.
Should we get out of garbage?
Oh, jeez. Get out of here. Go on. Shoot. It's none of the papers in there. There's nothing in there for you. Go on. Trying to clean my desk and he's playing with the paper garbage. Standard cat. So it should try and be silent. I'm going to double check it again real quick. I thought I saw a couple of blurbs here. And you can't see anything, but you can hear it. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Make those adjustments on the fly. So yeah, I'm very passionate about this because I see too many good things that are a good thing, even if I don't agree with it, because we need to have this discourse of different ideas. I don't like echo chambers, even though I think that some places, like, I'll be blunt, I don't watch CNN. Because I know what they're about. It's not just about differing ideas with them. It's just the fact I've seen too many pieces of evidence that have shown to me that they are not news anchors. They're not journalists any longer. They're just activists. And I've seen too many lies. I've seen too many videos that show that they have specifically made up an entire news scene. They mock up and do this kind of produced story that's not even truth. It's just something of, oh, look at this. It's like the guy standing in, deep water supposedly, and a canoe goes by, or that they have, oh, don't stand over here. We're trying to show only this situation. And I'm trying to keep it kind of limited because I don't want to get this, this video to be taken down. I'm trying to kind of be a little code about it. But I won't watch that channel hardly at all. Now I will watch other ones. No. Okay, there we go. All right. My OBS decided to disconnect and reconnect. I love it. Love it. Love it. This is where... And even though I still disagreed with them, I still listened. Because, again, I believe that there should be differing ideas. I do a lot of my research through independent media because I find better information. Especially when I've been here specifically and seen something that's completely falsified by the media when I've actually been able to watch it in person. So I tend to be a little bit more in line with the idea of once you've pretty much crossed that mark of you're not trustworthy anymore, I walk away from it. I'm done. Wow, I've got a really garbage video situation here. Just realized that. This is nowhere 720p. Wonder what's going on. Okay, I know it's pretty hot back there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and see about, let's see here, how long have we been on for, I figure, almost about 30 minutes here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here at 12:30, and that way that I'll give myself some time to get some stuff done this afternoon. I'll get back on and I'll see if I can't fix why I'm having this stream problem. Sorry about the video quality, and just everything cutting. And she has Fred. Fred. But I wanted to voice the fact that I am concerned out there for everybody that have anybody's channels, any creator situation. Even if I don't agree with your opinion, I still want to hear it. And I think you're important enough to hear it. Otherwise, I wouldn't take the time to listen to you. Even if, I disagree, I'd still want to hear it. Just so that way I understand your point of view. But other than that, I do want to thank everybody for showing up. That way I could at least get something out here. I wanted to make sure I was here. Really, Colleen, thank you so much for those words. I appreciate it very much. And hey, I'm going to be trying to make more videos as we go here. Just trying to get this thing set up right. I'm trying to learn all the tricks like what Green Bay Wacky does, Cab does. I mean, those guys are much more professional. Even Nike Girl does a great job on her stream for me to try and learn from and get ideas. So, and Francis, Francis Spirit Vlogs, I really enjoy watching how she does some of her stuff that she's done. Some ideas that I have. Again, the style of things was pretty good. So, but I'm still trying to figure out more stuff, and I'm kind of fidgety this morning. This is where I use it for my guitar to put the strings back on really fast, my speed loader. Oh, I didn't realize that you were actually dealing with all that. I completely understand, Colleen. Yeah, there. So much. There are days I can't even... Oh, man, I need to get back into a couple more videos on that. There were some things that people asked me some questions. Thank you for reminding me of that, even though I know you didn't even intend to, but more things on PTSD and anxiety, and that I want to turn it around to where you're doing like I do, to where you're fighting with PTS, and that PTSD is not who you are, but fighting post-traumatic stress to say, you know what, I'm strong enough to get through this. I have great support. I have wonderful people around me. I have a positive environment, and lifting you up like that so that way that you can take one more step that maybe you didn't think you could do. I need to do more videos for that. So thank you for, Colleen, you did me a service today. Thank you so much for, even though it may be inadvertent, you did me a great thing today to remind me I need to get back on that. So, but yeah, this is a little fidgety right now. Kind of upset at the idea that my feed's not working. So again, this is my way of going, my anxiety's just beating me up, so I understand. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end this. Other than that, for everybody here, I wanted to say thank you so much for showing up and watching. If you like, hit the like button. For those who first-time viewer, you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Hopefully the notification bell will work, so you might want to try and click on that. And for those who don't believe in God, I say love and light, just like Cab does. May positive vibes go your way. For those who believe in other things other than Christianity, namaste. And for those who are Christian, may the blessings of Christ come to you, wash over you, and bless you and your family. God bless. So, Thank you very much for everything you guys do for me, even though I'm trying to do for you. Just being here is more than enough. Thanks, and we'll talk to you guys next time. See ya.